pretty good.
All right, so we got some background music starting today. Today is significant.
Oh, all right. We're recording already?
We are recording right now.
Wow!
So
oh my gosh.
So the significance of today is what? It's Friday the 13th and a full moon.
Full moon.
On the same day, and it's not supposed to happen for like another 20 years or something like that.
20 years?
So, however you feel about this day.
Yeah.
Some people are superstitious and might not even go to work, or some people even avoid going out in public at all costs on this day.
Yeah, I know.
But, I think we were talking before, it's all about your mindset, right? Yeah. And prior to this, we had a pre-recording, and we did have some weird audio difficulties issues this morning, just in certain things, and
exactly.
Maybe the mojo of all of this stuff is just such a strong force that it still tried to mess with us, but we didn't let it affect it's not going to affect the rest of their day or anything like that.
Yeah, I know. So yeah.
We're talking about the law of attraction. Yeah. So for people out there that can let this day affect you, I feel sometimes it's because you've been so, like your whole life. Yeah. Your whole life you've believed that this day has been a bad luck day because, Friday the 13th, that you just grew up and unknowingly, subconsciously, on this particular day, because of that belief, you manifested kind of your own bad
reality.
Luck. Yeah, your own reality, your own bad luck.
So you're looking for all of the bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when Tony Robbins was talking about, okay, look out there and look at everything that's green. Green, 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 green.
And you start seeing
and then
green
he asks
cars.
You, then he asks you, and then he asks you, do you see anything red? No, because you were just looking for green.
Right.
Now look at where it's like green. Now you see a bunch of things that are red.
You weren't trying to retain any other color except for the green thing that you're searching for.
And so it's just like, hey, oh man, I tripped on my shoelace. That's bad luck. The next thing you know, it's like, oh, I dropped my coffee. Oh, that's bad luck. And it's like,
right.
And you're looking for everything.
And then sometimes when you spread those thoughts to other people, unknowingly you could accidentally get them to think that, and then all of a sudden, they're getting bad luck because all of a sudden they're
noticing it.
It's like negative energy, right?
Yeah.
It spreads to one another, and just the opposite effect, good energy can spread to another person, and
absolutely.
So a simple act of kindness
goes a long way.
It goes a long way, and it can continue spreading. So, I say today, stop this superstition about Friday the 13th. Make your decision in your mind that it is not going to affect you, and you're going to have a great day.
Yeah.
By your own accord.
Let's have a great day.
Let's have a great day.
Let's have a great day.
Let's have a great morning.
Let's have a great
PS Good Morning.
PS Good Morning.
So welcome to the 5th show that's officially being recorded right now. Actually, I was looking on my Google Drive the other day.
Yeah.
And I did see one of our other videos that was still on there.
Really?
So maybe I'll upload that as
that'd be a great
the
idea.
lost files, like later on.
Yeah, we could call it the lost files.
Yeah, the before the before.
Before.
Like the prequel and stuff like that.
I don't think the audio is going to be that good.
It probably won't be. And we were talking about eating on camera and stuff like that. That video had some eating of the camera and things like that. So,
first on this show,
you can see our eating habits and whatnot.
I mean, seriously, they're like if you look at the networks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, if it's a cooking segment, they're eating, but overall, I mean, you don't see the newscasters grabbing out, pulling out their breakfast burrito.
You don't. It would probably be distracting from the content they're trying to provide.
Yeah, because
now, if it was like a podcast where we weren't on video, I think that it probably wouldn't matter.
No, it wouldn't
because we'd probably just be eating, but we wouldn't be talking about the food. We'd be talking while we were eating. But
it's interesting.
A lot of good ideas and a lot of good conversations are actually over a beverage. You do see people on TV have a beverage.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so remember, like, Pixar people, they created 4 movies in a bar, talked about the concepts on a napkin,
wow. Awesome.
on a napkin while they were drinking.
I've heard about some multi-million-dollar business ideas started over a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I believe it.
So, man,
I think there are billion-dollar deals being done over like scotch and whiskey. You know, I don't know.
Something,
Scotch on the
yeah.
rock.
You know, anything that will, I guess,
I don't know what it is. You know what it is? It's just I think it.
sharing a drink with somebody. It's
I
almost
think-
like breaking bread. I don't know.
I think what it is when you're in the mode of drinking something, enjoying like company, it just kind of settles the external part of your mind, and then you just kind of it just allows you to just kind of soak in ideas.
Right.
We're a little more creative, I guess.
And a lot of times too, it's like somebody's offering something to somebody. So I think there's that kind of like a friendship that develops. Hey, would you like a glass of this? Would you like this?
Sure.
You know, even like at a job interview. I mean, I think most places always ask, "Are you comfortable? Would you like something to drink?"
Yeah.
You know, and I think that just helps calm the level down.
It's interesting you didn't mention that interviews because I like the fact that if you are in an interview and they offer you a drink and something, I think you should take it.
Oh, yeah.
Just to kind of break the tension, because first thing that's on your mind is all these questions that are going to come up.
You know, somebody told me that was in sales a long, long time ago when I was in high school. A salesman came to my house, and of course, you know, let him come in and
Yeah.
pitch his speak, or let him do his pitch or whatever.
Right.
And I was just asking him some questions, and I was like asking about sales and things, and
Yeah.
he said one of the things that had helped him in sales was no matter what house he went into,
Right.
no matter what that guest offered, he always accepted it. It could have been the worst coffee he had ever drank,
Yeah.
but he says if you take what is offered,
Right.
it's like it
kinda
helps.
sets a tone.
It substantially increases your chances of whatever you're trying to sell.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like
So-
if you like say no, I don't want that, then all of a sudden
It
I
sets
don't know.
a bad tone. Yeah.
I think so.
Kind of like, yeah, what's wrong? You think you're so good.
Maybe. I know last week we talked about the internet, right? And so there were some topics about kids' safety and stuff like that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, people go through a great deal of energy and time to create this dark web. Have you ever heard about this dark web?
Yeah, it's
So it's a place where
scary.
you
scary.
basically kind of go in and you got some special means to do it, whether it's software
Yeah.
or some encryption,
You gotta
right?
hack in there.
So if they've created this dark web for all this bad stuff, why can't they flip it and create a kids web with only kids stuff?
That's interesting.
You know what I mean? Like
That's a great idea. Where like you call it the
create
white
the
web.
parallel, and whatever devices that you give your kid is accessing this peer-reviewed or adult-reviewed or whoever-approved sites that
Hey,
are approved for kids.
But then you have like, okay, how do you figure out? Then you run into that thing, right, where you got, some guy that's pretending to be a parent and hacking into it, and
Well-
then disguising himself as if he has a family. And
Well, I'm not talking about like social, right? I'm talking about like when a kid is logged into the net to do surfing.
Okay, so
And it's like more
okay,
of
I
a
got it.
school mode type, like a school net,
You know what?
like
That-
an encyclopedia, but
Got
it's
it,
just
got
meant
it.
for kids. So when they want to
So-
go on and do schoolwork or homework,
Like-
you have the confidence as a parent that
right.
it's like the
got
only
it.
research that they can find is approved by some higher group of board members or something.
So an example would be like Google Kids.
Yeah. Google Kids.
Google Kids.
Do it. I
So
think you would be
You
onto
would have
something,
to
Google.
you'd have to like.
You
As a
already.
parent, you log into it, and then everything that's on there is being monitored by a group of people
Right.
in Google.
Google, you have the infrastructure right now. You already got
Like
all
Google
the data
Kids.
and all your sites. You
Google-
just create these
just think of
Google
this.
Kids devices
All right.
that are only meant to go on your Google Internet. You create your own Google Internet.
Hey, think about it this way: Google can do all sorts of things, right? Mm-hmm. Google Seniors, Google Kids, Google Teens, Google Singles.
Come on, Google.
Google. Look,
We're your.
look at that. Google Singles.
That would be pretty cool. You know,
It'd be awesome.
you got the infrastructure right now. You've got the database.
Yeah.
You got the power. So go ahead and create the niche,
Because,
because
like,
there
yeah.
is something out there that individuals
Yeah.
want to be able to access, but they don't want to
So
have
yeah.
it's like an ad blocker, right? It's a
Yeah.
content blocker, but it's its own web. Like,
Right. And they can control like the ads, right? Because there is the FCC thing about, you know, kids and adult type commercials and stuff.
and if you guys provide the technology to where these devices only log into the Google Kids network
Yeah.
without having to do
Yeah.
any special thing and make it so simple, people will buy that. Like, I would pick
Absolutely.
up I know, like like Amazon has the Kindle, right?
Right,
They have
right.
the Kindle Kids.
Right.
But all it is a device that's unbreakable, maybe a little bit more sturdy. But you actually made an internet made for the kids that
Yeah.
takes out all the bad stuff. I think you would have a great market for that.
It'd be kind of cool instead of having just adult controls.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually subcategorize, right? So just you can pick, okay, who is on this device. You
Right.
pick the device for your child. You go, okay, 0 to 5, click, and then everything content that comes up on it
It's some
is
learning letter.
Right.
You can
it's
create
just for kids, just
You-
that age group.
yeah. I think that would be cool.
Instead of adult filtering,
Mhm.
like adult filtering, oh my God, take that away from the kid. You're like,
Right.
because there's still some stuff on there.
Yeah.
But if you subcategorize, like I say, for example, on like Google, they'll have some searches, right?
Mhm.
But imagine if they had like subcategories for the searches in general.
Right.
So to narrow your search.
And that
The algorithm already does that.
yeah. But
So-
you have the niche. It's geared for 0 to 5
Yeah,
age or
0
whatever.
to 5, and then 5
as they
to
grow
whatever.
older, you can
Yeah.
advance it.
Yeah.
And then that way, the screen time that your kid is getting, like we talked about last
Right.
time, you can't not let them use it because this is going to be their world in the future,
Because-
right?
Right,
So now you're just kind of pushing in the age groups.
right.
And you can let them be on their device because it's already been set up for his
Right.
or her age group, and they can learn like whatever
Right.
alphabets or
I mean, because even Facebook could do that to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Say, okay, because the algorithm is when you start doing your particular searches for things or for people, it already understands that, hey, you might be interested in XYZ, or
Yes.
how about this community, or you might be interested in this. So if you just write the algorithm where you can select, okay, 0 to 5, boom, 0 to 5 on Facebook. That's all they'll see is 0 to 5.
Gosh, there could even be a plugin that we could develop right now that could maybe get created, and then somebody would buy that platform and just want it. You know what I
Wouldn't
mean?
it be kind of cool? You just made me think of something. Like, for kids, have this thing called Create a Web or Creative Web, where they can just draw. Like, kids just kind of do their thing, right? It would be something where they would have to log into, and it would have everything, and then there's somebody monitoring, to make sure there's no, bad words or anything that's being.
A community drawing board in a way.
Community drawing board,
Community coloring page.
community coloring page,
because I think,
sponsored by Crayola.
because
That'd be awesome.
I think that would get the kids geared up to work in groups for the future, because that's
Absolutely.
what you're already doing that on a higher
I
level.
mean, that's what they do now. They have them in stations, so to speak.
Right.
They have them in.
And then you're just teaching your kids that, hey, this is your future. This is what's going to be. This is how you
collaborate with
other kids. I bet you they could
That'd be
design
awesome.
some cool things.
I mean, they're like very.
I mean, I bet you some kids could come up with some awesome stuff that
yeah, we can't
they
even
could
think of.
make fundraisers for, or, you know what I mean? Like, I think
Yeah.
it's going to be awesome because the kid's mind is
Amazing.
just untapped, right? And they can
Yeah.
just come up with some pretty cool stuff.
Wouldn't it be funny though if you can actually do that with like your AI?
Mm-hmm.
Sit your AI with your 2-year-old and they learn together.
My little buddy today. Guess what? We just learned to color blue, and then they
yeah.
they
Me
high
and
five
AI,
each other.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Me and my AI, we walked to the park together.
I mean, to a degree, they have some stuffed animals that you can kind of program to say the name and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but it's still not intuitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, have you seen that one in Japan?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so in Japan right now, there are these. It shows some grandparents that basically their kids are older now, and so what they did was they bought a robot to be their eternal grandchild.
How big is this robot?
It's about the size of a 4-year-old.
Really?
About the size of a 4-year-old.
Wow.
It talks. I mean, it expresses emotion.
Says when it's hungry or something?
It does everything, and they love this thing. They're like totally like
attached, emotionally attached.
Emotionally attached to the robot. And they named it and everything else, and they dress it, and just like you would, like a 4-year-old.
Wow.
And because that's some of the things that we're going to be dealing with in the future, right? So it's
remember the last show I talked about, like right now we're going through this growth, like this population is just kind of pushing through right now. So we're experiencing all this overcrowding and all these things. But what happens when this population gets through that bubble, right?
Right.
So it's not about getting through this bubble. It's about this bubble continuing. So now we got to think about
the bubble's continuing.
If you think about the future and the commodities that this bubble that's continuing is going through, well, we all know that you only get older, right?
Yeah.
So right now there's a market that's going on in, I believe, Japan, because they, eat some of this food, like they eat some of the seaweed,
it's
right?
Japan.
Yeah,
I heard about that study.
And they live really long, right?
They live really, really long
So
without any heart conditions.
So one of the problems that they're going through right now is a lot of the people, as they get older, are having trouble chewing food, and they're getting a lot of deaths through choking.
Oh, wow.
Right? So there's this market now that caters to the older generation to take food, regular food, and kind of remanufacture, grind it up so that way it's easier to chew and swallow.
Oh, wow.
But it tastes just like the original food. Like, let's say a steak. What they do is they take the steak, put it through a bunch of tenderizing, pulverizing, almost like the McRib in a way.
Yeah.
And then they add the grill marks to it. But then when the older senior eats it, they're less likely to choke.
Yeah.
They're starting to do that with a lot of different foods because they realize that people are living longer.
Wow.
So as they're living longer, now you got to think of what hazards they may come across because they're older and maybe have less muscles in their throat and stuff. So, it may sound weird, but the commodity of the future might be developing the pens that don't look so like a upgraded version of the pens. You know what I mean?
Got it.
Things that are going to be for the aging community are going to be the high commodity now.
So an idea would be somebody that's already in the industry, right? So Ensure, for example.
Okay.
They got chocolate, vanilla, and whatever. I think maybe if they expanded to maybe like steak and potatoes, broccoli and carrots, peas and carrots flavors.
They're doing so many things with vegetables right now to make them taste like meat and barbecue.
Yeah.
They're creating barbecue that is made completely from vegetables.
Sure.
I mean, there's a place in Australia that's already doing it, but I mean, that's a market and niche that's kind of untapped and being research and development right now. That
I think that's a great niche to be in, especially as we're progressing, right? You're correct in the sense of, we are getting older as a society because, back in the day we worked on the farms, and so that was very laborious. I mean, in some cases, you can easily fall from your tractor or whatever, and then you're done. But like you said, we're in a society where we have enough, food supplements and stuff to prolong our life. And so it's interesting that segment hasn't really fully been explored.
Right.
I mean, how often do you go to a store and find something for seniors?
Yeah, and
I mean, it's a small section.
It's a small section, but
in the
it's
drugstore.
only going to grow.
I mean, it's just a small aisle. maybe even half an aisle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, supplement. We're talking about tons of stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's a supplement, even shoes. I
Mhm.
mean, belts, the whole works. I
Yeah.
mean, all of that. Because when you're slouching, you gotta pull up your, and that walking in
Posture,
canes.
yeah.
I mean, all of that stuff.
So I feel that from the study that I heard and everything like that, that once we do get through this growth,
Yeah.
I mean, me and you, we're going to get older, and there is definitely a need for that. I mean,
That's like tons of cool stuff. Have you seen that standing wheelchair?
when
Have you
when
seen
you said
that?
that, I'm just picturing a Segway for some reason, but I'm thinking I might have seen something.
It's basically set up as a wheelchair,
Mm-hmm.
but they're strapped in, and it lifts straight up, and they're actually as if they're standing, and it's mobile. They can move it around,
Wow, that's awesome.
and it's kind of like, it just looks like, kind of like those like things, the hovercraft or whatever, hoverboards, where you're walking, you're running back and forth.
That's why I was
Basically
thinking
what it looks
Segway
like.
for some reason, but because those are kind of like in Mall Cop, but kind
Yeah,
of different.
mall cop. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm surprised the Segway it's not as popular. Because 10 years ago it was real popular, and then now you don't see as many.
I think the movie ruined it.
Think so?
I don't know.
Mall cop?
It was a funny movie. But
I think, but I'm surprised that
but I think things that would make mobility, the category and niche of mobility,
yeah,
such as the standing wheelchair, is going to be a futuristic thing that people get more into. And
I think so,
a
too.
market that
Yeah.
will grow.
yeah,
We talk about markets, and I just think that it's good to talk about these things, because if you're an investor, there's, you could
Yeah.
get it, you could find something, do some research today, and you might
Right.
find something that could all of a sudden get big, and then you'll be like, hey, watch this show. They were talking about the future.
Yeah.
They talked about this niche here. I invested in it, and now I'm a millionaire, and you
Yeah,
can kick
thanks.
it back to us. I'm just joking.
thanks. So it's like where the money is.
Mhm.
It's familiar with peripherals. Peripherals is what. Okay, so an example would be an iPhone.
Mhm.
iPhone in general is just the phone.
Mhm.
But then there are cases, there
Oh,
are
yeah,
attachments,
right.
there are
Aftermarket
headphones,
parts.
there are cases, there are holders, there are
Wires,
the rings,
chargers,
there
yeah.
are all of that associated outside of that are called peripherals.
Uh-huh.
And that's where the money is. Actually, in some cases, I think some people have made more money. Because then when you just buy the phone, you just buy the phone.
Mhm.
But then I think that's why Apple is going to a lot of accessories, because then it's you make it your own, right? And you
Right.
have to buy all the stuff to make it your own.
Right.
And so I think what Apple
They
realizes,
built their own Lego system with
Right.
Apple products.
and so what Apple has realized, hey, the money is in the peripherals and accessories.
Mhm.
Let's just do that. We have a great product. Everyone else is making a ton of money on just catering to our product.
Mhm.
Let's do our own.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I mean that.
Well, so what do you think about the new iPhone that came out with the 3 lenses?
I don't know. I haven't seen one, or I haven't touched one, so I don't.
I haven't
can't
touched one
really-
either.
We should go to the. We should do a show over at the iPhone store or the Apple store. Where's one anyway?
I think it would be pretty cool to just do a review on the latest and greatest thing that we come across. And it could even be an old thing that's pretty usul that we come across.
like the forgotten iPhone.
The forgotten iPhone.
The five, the Apple 5, whatever, the iPhone 5.
I know.
Because it got stuck between the iPhone 5 and the iPhone S.
I know a lot.
5S.
A lot of people are panicking right now.
For
You
what?
know why?
Why?
Whenever a new iPhone comes out,
Oh my God.
it's like your battery on your current one starts going bad, or your phone starts going slower
I wonder
or
if they
something.
program that.
Well, I know there was a lawsuit about that same theory that I believe was true in a way.
So like when a new product comes out, they just kind of hit the button. It's
Well,
like,
I don't know if the new product comes out. I just think they time it to, they know when the batteries are going to go dead in the current phone. And if you don't replace the battery, the iPhone programs itself to compensate for your new battery level. So in a sense, it does get slower because it has to, because you don't have enough juice anymore, right? But if you take that existing iPhone and replace the battery, it'll be like brand new.
It reminds me of that movie in Star Wars where I think it was Episode 3 where they send out the droids that order number 506 or whatever.
Oh, all those mass-produced ones.
Yeah, and then they start killing all the Jedi. It's kind of like that. Like, okay, the new iPhone 10 is out. Hit the button.
Hit the button.
Hit the button. Oh no, my phone's draining.
I mean, iPhone has to continually make money each year, right? And like you said, off accessories, peripherals, or anything like that, that can keep the old ones going. But not only with the new stuff has to come up with something unique to that.
Yeah, exactly.
To keep, I mean, it's just crazy.
It's absolutely crazy.
Android doesn't ever do that, and they still make money. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
Samsung doesn't have to be.
Yeah, they don't have like this.
They don't have their own dongle.
Different...
They don't have their own stuff, and they're still making money each year.
In fact, they surpassed Apple in sales.
Did you know that new phone they got is like $2,000?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not getting that. I can't afford it.
Because how you don't feel it is because you're paying every month.
Plan,
You're paying,
and you're always trading in because your battery goes dead or something.
Now here's the thing, right? 5G is just around the corner.
Oh yeah, it's going to have to be a standard, but people are scared of 5G because they feel that it can cause health issues and stuff.
Yeah, there's some things that haven't been worked out yet.
Right.
But to think about the technology, though, 5G is going to be huge because, whether we're at this prime location for mobile data, right? We're at this prime. We're at the crest, right? We're at where the two intersect, technology and the use of Wi-Fi, and so. People are more remote, more mobile. They do more stuff. They work now.
Oh yeah,
at remote
it's a
locations.
huge workplace tool to be able to go anywhere and be mobile and do your work.
And so this 5G is going to really make a huge step forward in the processing of our work. In a mobile situation.
Right.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. I know that.
Yeah.
Do we have to wrap this up a little bit today?
I think so too. We're getting some good conversation.
We got some good conversations. We did. Yeah, there is a bunch of stuff going on back there. So, not sure what's going on with that. But
hey, this has been a great episode. Actually.
And we focus on a main topic for the most part.
Yeah.
And it is Friday the 13th. Don't be.
Just chill. Don't be focused on the bad stuff.
It's just another day.
Yeah,
and
another day.
Have a great morning.
Have a great day.
Until next week.
Cheers.
Bye.
PS Good Morning.
PS Good Morning.
Bye.